welcome back. My name is Alicia. I am the Fanciful Flamingo, and this is my FlossTube channel. So thanks for not giving up on me and coming back and sitting with me. This one's probably going to be Gone with the Wind length because it's been a minute since I've actually sat down to do a real live, genuine, bona fide FlossTube. So grab your drink. I'm still chugging away at my Dunkin' today. It's noon. And go get yourself a snack if you need one. You might need two for this one. And we'll be back with prayer and praise. All right. Well, y'all know I like to start out my segments with prayer and praise. And the prayer list is long this week. My friend Betty reached out again asking for continued prayers for her daughter who is battling an aggressive form of cancer and it has spread. So we ask that you keep Betty and her daughter and their family in your prayers. My dear friend Connie from Brick City is also battling. Cancer just seems to be, unfortunately, the theme for our prayers this week, that ugly word. Connie, my dear friend from Brick City, is also battling cancer, and she's not doing as well as we would like. I had the pleasure of meeting Connie last year in May when I went to Stitch with my dear sweet friend Stitchy Linda, and I was just blown away by her just positive, beautiful energy and soul and optimism. She is just grace personified. So please keep her in your prayers. I know y'all watch Jane and Julie because we all do. And Jane has been having some health issues since before Christmas, although she is rocking the short hair. I'm going to tell you, Jane, you make me want to just buzz my hair off too. I love it. There wouldn't be anything that I would love more than to look as fabulous as you do and just get up in the morning and go. But let's keep Jane. She's been feeling better. She hasn't had to go back to the hospital lately, but she's still on prednisone. So if you've ever taken steroids, you know that it gives you a ton of energy where you feel like you could run a marathon, but you feel so lousy you can't get out of your chair. We love you, Jane. My dear sister from another mister, Annie the Proper Stitcher, has two sisters, and one of her sisters was diagnosed with lung cancer and has gone through the treatment and then was doing good for that, was having a lot of back pain, advocated for herself, kept advocating for herself, went in and they did a scan and found something on her vertebrae. She has not met with the oncologist yet, so they are still kind of in that unknown stage. But let's keep Annie, the Proper Stitcher, her sisters, and their families in your prayers, and let us pray for as positive as an oncology pathology report as we can. And then, last but certainly not least, Jess Como Stitches is having surgery this week. It should be outpatient. We are going to pray over the hands of the doctors that the surgery goes smoothly and that she gets to go home that night and rest and recuperate in the comfort of her own home. And I would just like to add, my mother-in-law was supposed to go in for a simple surgery last Friday. There were some complications. She spent all weekend in the hospital. She is anemic, but luckily she did not need a transfusion. She was able to go home yesterday, although she still has a port in her side, and the surgery has been postponed for 2 months. And I don't know about y'all, but anytime I've had surgery the night before, I always think to myself, okay, at this time tomorrow, the hard part will be over and I will be on the road to recovery. And that's kind of what gets us through those tough times. So the last thing you want to hear when you wake up from anesthesia, because they did put her under and ran into complications while she was under and were not able to do the original intended surgery. So to wake up from anesthesia and know that you still have another 2 months of feeling like poop before our surgery can take place, is not fun for the psyche. So please keep my mother-in-law and my husband and his siblings and her grandchildren and her daughter-in-law in your prayers. And you know what I say? Where there's prayers, there's got to be praise. And there's a big one. Hobbies of Holly. Holly Neal's grandson is home. He is home with his mama and his daddy and his sisters and everybody that loves him. He had about 6 weeks in the hospital this time. He's weak. He's got a long road ahead of him to recover. But just the milestone of him being home is absolutely amazing. And that's it for prayer and praise this week. Please, if you have any prayers or praises, send them to me at onefancifulflamingo@gmail.com. That's the number 1fancifulflamingo@gmail.com, because prayer is so strong, but where there is a group, it's even stronger. And you bless me and honor me by sharing, and the rest of the community. So sit tight, grab another sip, grab another snack if you need to, and we'll be back with what I've been doing in the last month and a half, really. Well, let's start with some FFOs. And if y'all follow me on social media, you know that this has been a year for me to get things professionally framed. My to be finished box was growing, and so I decided, as part of my purposeful word of the year, to actually get some of this stuff that I've stitched on the wall so that my family can know what I'm spending all of their inheritance on. And my husband can wonder why, when our lights get turned off, we'll just light a candle and stare at the stitches on the wall. Just joking, honey. So, what I usually do, and I have an amazing framer here in town in Plantation, Create a Frame, Donna. Donna and I have formed an amazing friendship. I love her so much. And usually I started dropping 2 off. And then when I picked that up, I dropped another one. And we've kind of been on this rotation to ease it into, to ease into the framing. Sorry, my sister-in-law had just sent me a text, which she never does. So I apologize for that. So this is what I picked up on my last one. This is a Teresa Kogut that I stitched last year. And if y'all will remember, when I was stitching it, I first couldn't decide if I was going to put the verse at the bottom or not. And all of y'all said if I was going to kind of make it an antique or an anniversary sampler and put the year I was married, that I should put the verse, which is "Life is the flower for which love is the honey," and then 1996. And this, we have a long hallway in between my kids' rooms, and my house is kind of a split home. And we have a picture wall, and we have, in the middle of it is one of our wedding pictures. So I have hung this above it. And honestly, now that I've gotten some back and I've started hanging them around the house, I'm like, good Lord, my husband will never, ever now be able to say he doesn't remember our anniversary or how much he loves me, because everything has our name in 1996 on it. The next one that I took was Ann Richardson by my sister Sampler. And this was for Carrie Tiger Lily's birthday, Sal. And if y'all remember, I messed this up. Woo-wee. And I had to unstitch all of the top. And some of y'all were like, don't do it, just cut it, make that kind of a border sampler, do this one. I just love the way this one looks so much. That was my dog. That I just wanted the whole thing. And so I just gladly restitched the top. I loved it. It didn't bother me at all. This had Ann Richardson and I think age 9 at the bottom of it. I always personalize my samplers, mainly because my family thinks it's weird to put other people's names that we don't know on the wall. So I just recharted it and did my name and the year that I stitched it. And I mean, since I have these beautiful alphabets to choose from, that's what I did. And I love a Celtic A, so that's what I chose. But again, this was Ann Richardson, age 9, by my sister Sampler. And this was for Carrie Tiger Lily's birthday start 1st birthday Sal this year. And this was done also by Creative Frame here in Plantation. I just love the colors of this one. I got to meet them at market and I bought every single pattern that they had. And then this was my anniversary start in August because of you. Hats, and same thing. I put our wedding year and then my initials and Vince's initials in it. So these are the 3 that I picked up. The air conditioner keeps startling my golden retriever. So I love it. I am not really a purpley girl, but I just loved the colors, and everything about this is just so exquisite. Obviously, it's a Nicola. So those were the 3 that I picked up this last time. And they've already been added to the different walls in my home. And I wish I could remember. Oh, I did put a picture, and I'll put it here, of the 2 that I've dropped off for this time. And then Sunday, I got into an FFO mood of some other things that I had done. When I finished the first Blackbird, Birds of a Feather, at the end of March, I had some days left over because I do the 24 and 2024. So I do 2. I have 2 a month, and if I have any time, if I happen to finish one, I'll pick up a piece. And so this is just a little peacock. And I don't know what I did with the little sheet. I was looking for it. Give me 1 second. Here it is. I bought this at the Cross Stitch Cupboard last year. This is how it came. And I had, I've been cleaning up my studio. I have touched this 50 million times at least and moved it. And so this last time when I was going through the pile, I was like, this is little. I'm going to stop moving it and I'm going to stitch it. And this was a day stitch. Now this is kind of cool because it has Algerian eyelets and Smyrna crosses on this little bitty pillow. I love doing Algerian eyelets. This is a peacock, sweet little pincushion. I put Jersey Girl pins in it. This is a little button that I had bought in a pack at Hobby Lobby. I have Lady Dot Creates Velveteen. This is Dames of the Needle Mini Chenille. And then these 2 swatches are from Riley Blake's Sense and Sensibility Fat Quarter Pack. And I got to tell you, this, for a little pincushion, this is probably the most I've ever done. But again, I'm being purposeful this year. I have been watching Nicholas Spohr and all of her pillow finishes. And Julie, Jane and Julie Running with Scissors. They're what it's about. They took the time to stitch it, and they take the time to thoughtfully think through how they are going to finish it. And I have to admit that I am a rusher. I just want it finished and done. But I have enjoyed the little extra efforts that I have put into these. I mean, it's not much. Did it take me a little bit more time? Yes, I do. I did the slit. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I lie. Let me back up. When I do a pincushion, I do stuff it with lizard litter, walnut shells, because they help sharpen pins, and that's what it's about. And I like the weight. I don't love lizard litter. I gotta tell you, I don't. When I do a bigger pillow, I do it with polyfill. If I were to do lizard litter in here, I could take somebody out with it. This one, honestly, is so heavy it could be a hacky sack. But I love it. So this one is Americano by Rosewood Manor. I started it as my 4th of July patriotic start in 2023, and then it became a whip. And it became a whip because it had so much confetti stitching. But part of being purposeful again this year is I want to finish my whips. And I had 15 at the start of the year, and I think I've done 5. Fully finished 5. And so I made myself Sunday fully finish this. So once it was done, obviously it's gorgeous, and it needs that confetti stitching just to do the little extra oomphs of the detail. Now, this charm pack, the button and the charms actually came with this pattern. The button and the charms, except for the 2024 that I added. And I have never put anything like this on a pillow, and now I want something like this on every one of my pillows. I don't know where you get all these charms, but I love them. This ribbon was actually from a bundle that I bought from Holly Jones, Mrs. Jones Stitches, last year. Credit where credit is due. The picture on the front of the chart had the pillow kind of like this, so I just sort of copied it. This fabric and this fabric are from a Moda bundle that I got from Primrose last year. And this was actually from my January Favorite Things box with Emily Call. And I think I want to put another little patch on here. But this one is done, and it's polyfill. And I took my time. I stuffed, then I stuffed some more, then I stuffed some more. I used my bamboo skewers and my fingers to make sure that I got all of the corners, because sometimes I don't get it all the way in the corners. And I have a little silver bowl that I found at an estate sale last year that I am going to put all of my patriotic stuff in. So those were another 2 done by myself, FFOs. So we're not doing too bad this year. I am sticking to my 24 and 2024, and I'm proud of myself, because if y'all remember last year, I'd make a plan, and while I was telling y'all the plan on my floss tube, I was changing my plan. So let me be back in a second. Let me put these away, and then I will show you my whips and my starts. All right, I want to take a minute and kind of back up a little bit and show y'all some things that I've been working on too to help me be more purposeful, more mindful, and more organized. So y'all know I love me a project card, and I love the Tiger Lily project cards. But I wanted to do something a little different. I had a few months ago shown y'all a box that I had bought at Hobby Lobby that I thought I was going to use for my project cards. But it didn't quite work out for that. And then I was at IKEA one day, and they had these in a set of nesting boxes, and I think it was $10 for 3 of them. And this was, I decided, the size I needed. So again, got these from IKEA. There were 3 in there. And what I did was I made these little divider cards with the months on them. And I have a little laminator that I had bought on clearance at Target after a back to school thing. So I just took some of my cardstock and made cute little dividers for each month, so that I could put my project cards in them this year. I had them in a notebook last year, and I used the 8.5 by 11 sheets that the Nap Time Stitcher had done. But I really liked having this on my desk, and just, I'm old school Rolodex type of girl, so that worked great for me. So I had a whole bunch of these note cards that my kids used, stacks and stacks of them, and so I have been using just this simple kind of thing now for my projects. And then I've been trying to take a picture with my sprocket, so I have everything on these little cards. And I haven't shown this one yet, but I'm gonna. And then there's my Americano, my Ann Richardson, my peacock bird, and I haven't taken a picture of He Loves Us yet because it's not FFO'd. And that's something that I'm trying to decide in my head, if I want to wait and take a picture when they're FFO'd or just when they're FO'd. But I don't need to decide all that today, do I? Nope. So this box now sits right here on my desk. It's sort of kind of clean now. And then my book of days, I have been filling out every day. Again, I have a laminator, so I laminated the front and the back like Colorado Cross Stitcher does. And I actually bought a binding machine, thanks to Chris the Camping Stitcher, for other things that I'm doing. So I bound it myself. That's a lie, my husband bound it. Kia B and Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher motivated me to put some pretty little cardstock at the top of each month to decorate the book. Not that it needed it. And then I bought these little monthly stickers at Hobby Lobby. Colorado Cross Stitcher added pages to the back of her book that I loved for something that she does. I decided to do mine in each month. And I haven't gone back to finish January yet, but again, I have kept up with it every day that I've stitched. And in the sides, I put what I start, if I finish it, and if I pull out any whips, and then what my finishes are for that month. I would like to color code it like Nicole Spohr does, because I think that's genius. I just haven't gotten to that yet. Did the same thing in February. And what I'm going to use this page for is what Sherry the Colorado Cross Stitcher uses it for, is for pictures of her finishes. So this really becomes kind of a scrapbook. This is going to have the pictures that I took at market, and I saw my friend Becca, Sambry Stitches, at market and got one of her stickers. So that's in February. And I had 8 finishes in February. Yes, I did, because I did the little bunnies on Saturdays. Y'all don't get crazy. But here's March. And so with my sprocket, I actually print out 2 pictures. And in here, I've also put, because this is what Sherry the Colorado Cross Stitcher does. She puts pictures of her finishes on her blank pages. And then I love me some stickers, and I had a Jersey Girl sticker, and this is the Vintage Stitcher floss tube. I had her sticker. I got a sticker from Annie B's at market. And so this is where I will put the rest of my FFOs. And again, here's where I put my starts, my finishes, and my whips. And so I have really filled it out every day. It sits in my stitching box beside my chair, so every night I just add to it. And so I have April started. And that's one that I will show you in just a second. So I have, like I said, I've also been trying to work. If I finish one of my 24 and 24 early, I go to my whip pile. And like a lot of us have been talking about this year, I have a lot of whips that were almost finished. And for whatever reason, something else caught my eye, and I didn't finish it at the time. One of those was, a stack of the stacks. This was my first mesh bag stitch, and we were given these by Annie and Kim at the Samplers Remembered Retreat in Franklin with Little Robin Designs. And this design was an exclusive from Annie the Proper Stitcher, Bluebird Sings. And at the retreat, we were taught how to do this, and I just, for whatever reason, just did a little bit of this and never finished it. And then I decided, again in cleaning my room, I found this at the bottom of the pile on my desk. I had 3 things that were close to a finish at the bottom of that pile. I must have unpacked my bag, put it on the desk, and then the pile grew. So this was another one that I was like, I am not touching it and moving it again. I'm going to sit. Finished it in an afternoon with the pearl cotton that was supplied for us as well. And I finished it. No, it's not centered. It should have been here, but whatever. I like it. I love it. It is a great memory. And that is another one of my whips, because I'm counting it, that's finished. And I took a picture of it, and I marked it in my book as a finish. I had shown y'all this. I finished Alice by Tra La La Designs. I think I'm going to have it framed because I have a shelf above here with all of my Alice in Wonderland collection, and I'm going to put it on that ledge. There's a part of me that thought about doing it for a pillow to put it in my stitchy chair in my room, which is why I haven't pulled the plug yet on an FFO. But that is Alice by Tra La La. Lenny with, oh, good grief. What is the name of their channel? Lenny and Roberta. Sable Stitchers. Good grief. Was also doing it for, I think, a granddaughter or a great niece. But I had started this last year. Finished it in March. So that was another whip from 2023 that I have finished. And then Teresa Kogut was so sweet to give us a free chart for Easter. Oh, how he loves us. And yes, he does. And Missy and a couple other people started stitching it right away. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And this became my Palm Sunday. I started on Palm Sunday. I finished it on Monday of Holy Week. And this is, I did this on the 16 count Mary. This is the same fabric that we included in the March box with Sweet Wing Studios for her, as he said. And so I had some extra. I know I want to put them both together. So everything is the called for colors except the centers of the lilies. And I had just finished Americano, and I had used some Rainbow Gallery gold thread. And so that's the only change I made, was that I used Rainbow Gallery's kind of gold thread in the middle of my lilies. But everything else is the called for. So I've got that one. And then this week I finished, this was one of my March 24 and 2024s. I did not finish it in the allotted time. So then what I did was I rolled it over to Whip Wednesdays and Sampler Sundays so that I could continue stitching on it. And I finished this, I think, Monday. I had just a little bit to go. I didn't finish it Sunday night. So I allowed myself to break the rules. And worked on it Monday and finished A Gentle Needle by Monticello Stitches. And I got to meet her at market too, and buy every other pattern that she's ever created, and I love this. Look at those peacocks, y'all. There are a few changes. I messed up and stitched this border in the wrong color. But I liked it. I debated unstitching it and redoing it till the very end, but I love a lime green. And then the only other thing is right here, there are two, in the chart, there's a flower on each side, and I left those out because I just liked it that way. Is it blurry or is it me? It's me. I'm having trouble with my eyes again. This went with me to Washington, D.C. for our spring break. And if you, again, follow me on social media, you will have seen that I stitched all around D.C. and Virginia. And this was one of the patterns that I took to stitch on. I stitched on this on Easter week, and I stitched on Susan O'Brien's, as he said, from the March box for Holy Week. So y'all, yes, it looks like a lot, but I haven't really filmed a true floss tube since February. I filmed before market. I did all my market purchases, and then I've been taking y'all along on little snippets of as I sort through this mess in my studio. So it's been all of March, a little bit at the end of February, and now this part of April that I have some stitching. My friend Jen Naska's like, how do you stitch so much? 7 o'clock at night, we all sit down in the den to watch TVs and have family time together. I have my Stitchy chair out there now, my new one. We bought his and hers recliners because we're just that romantic. And I've got my alt light, my big standing light out there, and I stitch while everybody watches TV. And I usually stitch from either 7 to 11 or 7 to midnight. So that's 4 or 5 hours a night of stitching. I have finished the first of the 2 loose feathers that I have to do. I took this one already to the framer because I couldn't wait. And I will finish this one, which is number 9, today. I have to finish filling in my bird with Confederate gray, and then I have to do the Lazy Daisy stitches, specialty stitches. So I finished number 5, and now I will finish number 9. And these are the 2 that I have chosen out of the 9 because I know where I want them in my den. They're gonna go on either side of my window where my Staffordshire dogs are. And I thought that they complemented each other very well. And I used all of the called for colors. I don't have my sheet with me, and I apologize, or I would tell you what I had stitched it on. So that is almost a finish. This was my first of my 2 for April, and I give myself from the 1st to the 15th. So this one I will finish a little early, and then I will pick something out of my whip pile, or maybe something new to start in those days in between the 15th until I start my second one for April. I did 6 of the 9 bunnies of these little bunnies for my Prairie Schooler Saturdays. There were 9 in this booklet. I finished 6. I don't know if I will do the other 3, but it has gone into my whip rotation. I just need to put the trim on the ones that I haven't finished. I'm working on this one now. So I have them in my little bowl just like this, and I will finish the trim. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to go back to my Prairie Schoolers that I had done. I started them for the 12 and 12 with Kia B on New Year's. Y'all, I'm throwing a bunch of stuff out there today. I'm sorry if I'm confusing y'all. So 2018, I had outlined on the 12 for 12 at Christmas Eve, and I'll work on him until he is finished. So I worked on him Saturday. I got the snowman kind of outlined, his scarf done, his face. I got the Santa beard and hat done. I got the rabbit done on Saturday. And this is the 2018. Like I tell you all the time, I won't put the words in. I will put 2018 somewhere up here so that when he's finished and on my tree, I know which year is which. And I had picked 6 of these to do. Well, I picked 5 knowing that the 2024 would come out at market. And that would round out my 6 Prairie Schoolers for the year. I didn't get him at market. They were sold out, but my local L&S cross-stitch cupboard came through for me. He is a Swedish kind of Scandinavian, which fits because last year I found my birth mom, and we are Swedish. And I said it last night. I'm just going to tell y'all, I am not doing... Some of y'all love the back stitching. I'm not doing all those trees. I'll put maybe a few down here at the bottom, and then I'll put the year up here at the top. I might not even do that. Maybe I'll find a cute little tree button. Probably. And put that on there. Maybe not. He looks darn cute without it. That's just me. I still have PTSD from backstitching in the 80s. It is what it is. So I've gone back to my Prairie Schooler rotation on Saturdays. And then I told y'all that I worked on As He Said by Sweet Wings Studio during Holy Week. And I just need to do the dove, the rabbit, the sheep, and a little bit of grass down here, and I'm done. Oh, no, I don't. I have more filigree. And then, like I said, I plan on framing these two. And those colors just complement so well. And putting them back here on my bookshelf so I can enjoy them year round. So I've got that one. I hope I'm not coming off as scattered as I feel. I feel like I'm throwing a ton of stuff at y'all today, and I apologize. And then this is my second one that I will start on the 15th for my 2 of April. This is M+A 1853 by Needlework Press. And this is another one that I had kitted for the 24 and 2024 with the called for. And I did buy the Classic Colorworks. Did I? Yeah, I did. I bought all of the called for fancy flosses for that. So this will start on the 15th. Y'all know I love me a funky flower. I just do. And I love those colors, and I can't wait to have that one up on my wall. And I chose 28 cashmere linen by Weeks Dye Works for this one. My lights, I don't know if y'all can see all of that modeling on it. But I just feel like I tried to go as close as I could to the called for linen. I don't really stitch on the high count linen, so I always have to do conversions, but I think that'll be gorgeous. And that'll be my second April start. Do I think I'll finish this in 15 days? No, because I have 2 trips planned. But that's okay. Then it will go into my sampler Sunday stitching. So now that I have completely, I'm looking around and utterly thrown everything in the kitchen sink at y'all, that's what I have been doing. Goodness gracious alive. That's my stitching. Again, it seems like a lot, but I haven't been on here in a while. So y'all, I just want to be completely honest and not have y'all think that I'm some super fast stitcher, because I'm not. And I've unstitched a million things as well. Y'all, I cannot see today, and it's freaking me out, and I'm sorry. I have blurry vision again. So that's what's been going on in my world. And I will be back in just a second with, I'm not going to vomit all the haul that I have had in the last 2 months, because we really would be here. I mean, we would have to take like an intermission and come back tomorrow for part 2 if I showed y'all everything. So I will be back in just a second though with some of my haul. Y'all know I can't pass up a Como Stitches bag. And so I've actually even bought more than this since the last time we talked, but some have already been kitted up. She has come out with these fabulous project folders that I just adore. And so, you know, I had to snap up one of these from her. This is Como Stitches. I had to get this. I had to. I can't help myself. And then she has started designing a taller bag. First of all, anything that is quilted I need. I sure do. Patchwork, have to have it. But I love these tall bags. Don't ask me why. Love it. So this is one of her newer. And I don't stitch with a Q-snap, so it's not why I buy it. I buy it just because it just makes it I have to have it. And then this one. And I always, I always buy the thread bed, and I use my thread beds. So I just think that they are just fabulous when, especially, you have extra threads that you've pulled off a skein and you don't need it in that particular area. You just put them in your little thread bed until you come back to that. And then my dear friend Melanie Fagan, who will be at Stitch, Florida, and will be a vendor, makes these amazing Farmhouse Needleworks. I love these. She makes project bags too, but I love, love, love these of hers. And so I got one of these. So that's all of my pretty little bags and keepers that I've bought. I did not get this at market, but when I went up to the cupboard a few weeks ago, they had it in and I bought it. And I want to make it a pillow just like she did. I sure do. I saw this one at the cupboard and I didn't have it. By Lala Studio. Look at that bird. Kim, the Contented Needleworker Kim, is the one that, I mean, I've always loved birds. But now I'm just drawn to anything that has a bird on it. And it makes me think of my sweet friend. This one, she was out of at market and I had ordered it, so she sent it to me, but I wanted to show y'all. Plum Street Stars. That needs to go in my project bag from Jess with the houses on it. And then, what else did I have pattern-wise? I had bought this from Acorns and Threads. They had one of these all as a kit. Stacy Nash. And I sure did go and order it with the linen, the floss, the corner gauge. Check, 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 check. All of it. Had to have it. Don't ask me why I had to have it, but I had to have it, so. I laugh when Jane and Julie talks about the stuff that she orders in the middle of the night, because I tell y'all all the time, something comes over me in the middle of the night when I can't sleep, and it just becomes add to cart. And I'm as shocked as my husband when I open it up. Punch needle and primitive stitcher. Karen at the Cross Stitch Cupboard knows every time a new one comes in to hold one for me, because y'all, okay, look at that. Vincent and I, you know it. Remind him of how much we love each other. Look at that one. I mean, I don't do punch needle, and I'm not going to tell y'all that I'm gonna, but if I did. Golly dang, y'all. It's just all exquisite. And then I have really this year, I have told y'all, I know y'all are sick of it. Y'all are probably yelling into the computer. Y'all know that I was a double major, and one of my double majors was history. And I cannot believe that it's taken me this long into my journey to get into samplers and the histories of samplers. But now I have gone in feet first, head first, all of it. Between Nicola and Katie Strachan and Susan Stanley. And there is another one. And then my sweet friend, Shelley Fry. I just want all the books, and I want all the knowledge, and I want to know all the things. So I have gone a little happy buying the books. This one came in from the Scarlet Letter. This one might have been one that either Nicola or Katie recommended. And it took me a minute to find it, but I found it. And I got this again at the Scarlet Letter. And then when I hope I'm not telling a lie about this. I don't think I am. When we were in D.C. for Easter, we went to the museums, and my sweet family forfeited a morning to go with me to the DAR Museum. Daughters of the American Revolution, and they were having a display of cross stitch and embroidery and clothing, and they walked through it with me, and I took tons of pictures, and I bought this book there. I have another book coming that I bought in Stitches, but Carrie was nice enough to offer to ship it to me. So I have quite a library now of Stitches. And this one, I can show you, goes into great detail on specialty stitches that I didn't really think I liked until I started doing the blackbirds. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, if I could put an Algerian eyelet in everything, I would. But I don't want to do heart hanger, so don't y'all even come for me with that. So that's some more goodies that I've bought lately. What else have I bought? Anytime I go into an antique store and I can find some of these, I buy them. And I like them in all sizes. Sorry, I'm off camera. All shapes and sizes. And I have just been putting them in the box as I find them. And I have a ton more. Ton more. What I want to do with these is I have all of the Liz Matthews that she has come out with for the Days of Christmas tree. And I know I want to stitch them into trees. 12 Days of Christmas. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go over to Liz Matthews' website, join her Patreon, watch her floss tubes. They are delicious. And so my dream when I finish them one day is to have them all on my mantle at Christmas. And she puts hers in frogs, flower frogs. When I saw these and they're all different heights, I was like, that will be perfect because then I can have them in all different heights. And so I buy these anytime I can find them at an antique mart. So I have added these to my collection. I'm not even gonna tell you what my husband calls my collection. I'm gonna surprise myself because I don't even know what's in here. Yes, I do. I bought this from, I'm almost positive this was from Evertote. Antonia Puello, 1913. Even though my birth mother is Swedish, I grew up in Spain. My adoptive mother is my mother of my mother. I didn't need anybody else. That's not why I went searching for my biological mother. I grew up in Saragossa, Spain. I love the history. It's part of why I studied history. This is a Spanish reproduction sampler with the Roxy Floss Coat conversion. I have a few Spanish reproduction samplers that I have bought that I want to stitch, and in my ancestry wall that I want to do, that's what I want. My husband's family is Cuban, but they also have their roots in Spain. It is what my entire family identifies with when we think of our history. And so I have a dream one day of having an entire wall of Spanish reproduction samplers. What came from Hobby House? What did I buy? Oh, I did buy this. A present for a friend. I did. Nicola showed this. It's offered by Hobby House. Laura, the cereal starter, Laura and Brenda, came with all of the soitages. Came with the linen. It's I picked the 32 count, and then it's beautiful color. Oh. Isn't it funny? It really is like Christmas around here because I have just, honestly, I've been good, and I haven't put any of this away because I wanted to share it with y'all in my haul, and I'm just as surprised as y'all are today. Woo-wee. Let's see what else. I see a lot of bags down here. Hometown Needleworks. What did I buy? Oh, yes, I did. I need to stop buying Prairie Schoolers. I saw this one just putzing around, probably looking at Prairie Schooler Santas. And so I said, yes, I do. So that came from Hometown Needleworks. And then these I hold dear. I'm not going to put them all together. I want to do these in individual pin cushions for a bowl. So I have that. What I buy from Farm Girl Dry Goods. Well, let us see, shall we? Oh yeah, look how long these have been in here. I bought the Hoppy Easter. A lot of y'all have already done that. And I bought the whole kit. Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher really turned me into, when I can find something kitted up, buy it. Because, I mean, it's got the finishing fabric. It's got the trim. This is Grandma's Candy Dish. And that's what I try to do in my subscription boxes as well, is to think of how do we want to finish. This is Be Stitch Me. I rejoined her Fabric of the Month. And this is the Vanilla Latte 32 count linen. I have tons and tons and tons of linen that I have purchased. You know what? I'm going to save the rest for the next one. There's a lot. There's always another floss tube, so we'll just... I didn't think that basket was that deep. There's my haul. And again, that's not just a week. Sorry, I dropped something. I'll be right back. Hey. So, not just a week, okay? Because then I get comments. The economy needs me, people. I am being a true American and helping our economy. I want thank yous. I don't want any scolding. And I'll be back in just a second to talk about a sale that I'm starting with some friends of mine and some very generous giveaways for y'all. Let's do a little shop talk first. Stitch Florida 2024, July 25th through 27th of this year is sold out again. We did have a couple drop off, but we had a wait list and we have managed to fill the vacant spots. I did just have someone reach out to me this week that they're not going to be able to go. Always as it gets a little bit closer to retreat time and people's kind of solidify their schedules, we may have a few more that are not able to attend. So if you would like to get on the wait list for Stitch Florida in Orlando, July 25th through 27th of this year, please email me at shop@fancifulflamingo.com and let me know that you want to be put on the wait list. And we just, at this point, just go down in order. So it is sold out again. We are going to have, there is not a designer, although there will be designers there. We do have some classes that are going to be taught by Chantel with 141 Design, Carrie Tiger Lily, Jenny Massini. Annie the Proper Stitcher and I are co-hosting this together. It is so exciting. Just lots of fellowship and fun. We, Annie and I and Edith and Jean and Pam and our entire volunteer team are so passionate that everybody leaves there, not only with your gift from us. We have 150 attendees and we have 150 door prizes. Yes, we do. So we are just going to have a hoot and hollering good time. We have vendors. I do have a Stitch Florida page on Facebook. It is only open to attendees. once you get off the wait list, I immediately add you to the group. We have some Zooms where we all get to chat beforehand. So please, even though we're sold out, if you are interested in going and want to be put on our wait list, again, send me an email to shop@fancifulflamingo.com. My bi-monthly subscription boxes, the next box will ship out at the beginning of May, the first week in May. I usually try to do it the last week of the month, but I do have some trips planned, and so this one will go out the first week in May. The designer, the featured designer for this one is Annie, the Proper Stitcher. It is an exclusive design to the box for a few months, so the only way to get it is if you get the box. I am keeping the box open through Friday of this week. It's the longest I've ever kept a box open, but I have so many people, especially like with Susan's, that are like, oh, I really wish I could have gotten the box. I've always kept it open just a limited time. I have to special order. Every box is curated especially for the pattern. And that means that there's a lot of specialty things that go into the box, and those creators need time to get things made. This box will contain some trim from Lady Dot Creates. Lois, thank you so much. It has a finishing piece by Chantel with 141 Design. And this box will also feature a private tutorial. And you will only be able to participate in this tutorial with Chantel on how to finish this piece if you subscribe to the box. We have the private Zoom stitch with Annie. Again, finishing fabrics, lots of goodies. There's always 10 things in each of my favorite things boxes. Again, this box will ship the first week in May. So you want to get in on that if you can. And so those are kind of shop talks. Tonight, Nicole Spohr was so sweet and gracious and invited me to join her for her interview segment. So we will be on there tonight together at 7 p.m. Central. So please check that out. And I said, oh, here it is right here. Annie the Proper Stitcher, Jen Nesk, and I are going to do a sal together. And we have picked Annie B's 12 Days of Christmas Stockings. All of us work on big pieces, and we just felt like we needed something sweet, something small that we could do together. And wouldn't this be fabulous to have all of them done by the end of the year? We will do some Zooms so we can all stitch along with these. It's DMC. So I have already kitted up my DMC. I went back and forth. I've never stitched on dark fabric. I did have some 14 count chalkboard Ada. This is what this is stitched on. They used 14 count. You can use whatever you want. But went back and forth, bought some 28 Atomic Ranch that I love. But I really thought for my first foray into dark fabric, I was going to do, if it was good enough for Annie B's, it was good enough for me. We will start this on May 1st. So there's plenty of time to get your book. If you don't have it, this was a new release from Market. Get your fabric, whatever you want, and get your DMCs and join us. And we'll all three be posting more about this. And now it's almost time for the end of this extremely long floss tube. And I don't do giveaways on all of my floss tubes. But my friend, again, Annie the Proper Stitcher, was so gracious and sent me some of her Market releases to share with you guys. And so I have 4, and I am going to do 4 giveaways. So the first one is her beautiful spring sampler that was released at Market this year. And y'all know I like quirky comments. So if you would like to be considered for this gift, don't say giveaway, because you know then all the freaks come out. Use the word spring. then always and always. So if you would like to be considered for this gift, use the phrase always and always, because I always and always love to read them. Lucky you if you are the recipient of this gift. So use the word lucky if you would like to be considered for this gift. Is she not the sweetest with her pigtails? And y'all know I love me sheep. And then last but not least, there's lots of Sal's with this one. Strength and dignity. Use the word strength if you would like to be considered for this. These can be found at your local LNS's. She has also, now it's been enough time, so she has released them on her Etsy shop. If you would like to buy any of these, she had even more releases. And thank you again, Annie, for your generosity and these gifts for my floss tubers. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did. I'm very close to 4,000, which might not seem a lot to some of you, but to think that 4,000 people at any given point in time have to sit through one of these just boggles my mind. So please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you feel so inclined. And I have tried and tried and tried to be better and better at answering all of your comments. I read them all. They bring me such joy, as they do to all of us who are floss tubers. This is kind of a one-sided conversation, so the only way we really get to chat with you guys is when you leave us a comment. I know it's hard. I watch floss tube on my TV while I stitch, so it's hard for me to comment a lot of times, but I so love to read them. Again, if you have prayer requests or praises to share, send those to me. I've enjoyed my time with you. I have now made another mess in my messy studio, but y'all just have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your week. God bless you all. And don't forget, choose joy.